When I joined the UFC, if they would have said, do you want a title shot or would you like to fight Gilbert Melendez? In my heart, deep down, I would say that title shot. I want to fight Gilbert Melendez.
I did want to put it out there that I'd love to fight Eddie Alvarez. He's top in the world. Him and I would be a great fight, and it'd bring me a lot of respect when I beat him, you know? Eddie and I have both been some of the most popular 155-pounders outside the UFC, you know, for a long time.
He started almost the same year I started. Very similar record, similar style.
For a long time, I was a champion in Strikeforce.
And still, the Strikeforce lightweight champion of the world, Gilbert El Nino.
Eddie was the champ in a different organization, and you know, we're the two biggest 155-pounders outside of the UFC.
Ground and pound, and this one's over.
You know, at times, debatably, he was number one, I was number one, 1 and 2, 1 and 2.
In 2010, both fighters had cleared out the lightweight division in their respective organizations, and Gilbert Melendez sought out the biggest fight against the best fighter that he could find outside the UFC. That was Eddie Alvarez.
He seems like to be the man outside the UFC right now to beat.
After I'd make a headline, he'd right away say he wanted to fight me, try to steal a headline.
I know I could beat him, man, and I want to find out, and I want to prove it to the world. And also, I think it'd mean a lot for the lightweight division, you know what I mean? And I'd love to fight him. I kind of feel like I have to fight him. I wanted to fight him, and I wanted to make it happen, you know, and I want to fight him out of respect. I think the guy's tough, you know. He took it as an insult.
I'm like, what are you doing, man? Make your own headline. He's like a high school cheerleader, always trying to the quarterback.
Gilbert's telling the world that he wants to fight me. He just don't shut up. Every other interview he's talking about fighting me. I want to fight Eddie Alvarez.
You know, why is he calling me out if this can't happen, this fight can't happen? You know, I thought it could happen. That's why I said it. I just didn't say it for giggles.
2 shots to the ground.
Sometimes he didn't say the brightest things.
The feud continued for years with both fighters wanting a piece of each other.
It's a fight that the fans been looking forward to a while, something that me and Gilbert talked about for a long while, and like I said, it's one of them fights that the stakes are high and people want to see it.
But the rival promotions couldn't come to an agreement, and it was unclear whether the fight would ever happen. Melendez debuted in the UFC in April of 2013, and just over a year later, Alvarez would follow. And with two of the top lightweights of our generation under the same banner, talks about making the fight heated up again in February.
You know, if Eddie Alvarez is out there, we should finally make a date and we should try to fight each other. Finally, you know, if this is really going to happen, you know, then let's finish it. I really want to hit this guy.
Blue corner, Eddie Alvarez. Red corner, Gilbert Melendez.
Now we're in the same promotion. Now it's going to happen, and now he's going to get what he wants, and he's going to be sorry that he ever asked for it.
I'll be there with my mouthpiece, and I'll be there with my hands up. I'll be ready to throw down.
Now that Gilbert Melendez and Eddie Alvarez are fighting under the UFC banner, a bout between two of the top lightweights of this generation can finally happen.
He is a ferocious fighter, and he's got some of the best ground and pound I've ever seen.
Melendez entered the UFC in 2013.
Gilbert Melendez has fought the best of the best available outside of the UFC.
But Eddie Alvarez is a promotional newcomer. Now the four-time MMA champion has his sights set on a fifth title, the biggest one there is.
There's not a doubt in my mind I'll be UFC champion. I don't put a time limit. I'll simply be champion because I won't stop until I am. It's inevitable. Things will align because of the things that I do every day. I just won't stop until I do. I've always been that way, and I'm going to continue to be that way.
Tuesdays are our MMA sparring day. We try to raise the intensity up.
5 minutes, let's go, work! Work!
We're allowed to go 100%. Rarely do we get to do that during the week, but Tuesday we have the green light.
130, Michael. 130, Michael.
Me and Mike Johnson have been training together since I came to the Black Zanes. When two people are like-minded and they sort of are on the same path, they sort of attract each other, and they want to make each other better.
Go! Number 2!
Hey, good timing.
Having, Eddie in here as a training partner is incredible. I still think that he's one of the best lightweights in the world, if not the best lightweight. I've always said that.
30 seconds, go!
He's a guy who will get in there and go into the later rounds and push hard.
There, you work here, Eddie. Nothing comes easy right here. Nothing's easy. Make him earn everything. Good.
I'm looking forward to like a high-pace, violent fight. I want fans to get excited. I want them to jump up and feel something when I'm in there.
130, 130. Just make your feet move. Dance on a little bit.
There was long time talk about these two guys fighting each other because of the similar styles they have. They go for fights, they brawl.
Go! Be fast in the last round. Go, Eddie!
Going into this fight, I feel like he has no shot. He's gonna do his best, but he's gonna come up short. If he dares to go in the center of the cage and throw the punches that he normally throws with other lightweights, I will end him right in the center of the octagon.
Now Eddie's saying if I stand toe-to-toe with him, it's going to be he's going to knock me out, and, I don't have the guts to stand toe-to-toe with him. It's not going to take much convincing for me to stand toe-to-toe and bang it out with Eddie Alvarez. Not much at all, so if he wants it, I'll be there.
For 7 years, he was the king of Strikeforce.
Since coming to the UFC,
Oh, big vicious knee to the body by Gilbert.
Gilbert Melendez has shown fans what he's all about.
Big right hand by Melendez.
He's been in some battles
They're gonna swing to the finish. Oh my God! Unbelievable! Oh my God! Whoa!
and always puts on exciting fights. And Melendez, the number 4 lightweight in the world, hasn't lost focus on what he came to the UFC to do.
I feel like I've been in the sport for a long time. I've been relevant for a long time. I've been top 10 for almost 10 years. I've been the champion of WEC. I've been the champion of Strikeforce. I've defended titles. I fought 25-minute fights. I see fighters come and go, champions win and lose and disappear, and I'm always relevant, and I take pride in that. My goal, for sure, is to just put on a great show and beat Eddie Alvarez. I think there's some guys out there that are very beatable, and I think the champion is beatable. We've seen him lose. I think everyone's beatable and it's up for grabs, so, I'm gonna keep doing my thing and hopefully I get that shot.
For sparring, Gilbert has brought in a number of fighters for this camp. Today, it's Kareem Mayfield. Mayfield is a former pro boxing champion with a 19-2 record. He's known for his heavy hands and has knocked out 11 men inside the boxing ring.
Keep your range, keep your range, keep your range.
Today, it's not about MMA.
30 seconds. Up, up, up.
It's just straight boxing.
Good job, guy. Don't do too big, so like foot. Tap, 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 and then bang, bang, and out. Tap, 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 bang, bang, then out.
Kareem Mayfield, he's a scrappy guy who throws big bombs like Eddie Alvarez.
Pop, 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 pop. Nice. Change your level too. Pop, pop, pop. Nice. Do that again like that.
A lot of times boxers think that MMA guys' hand skills aren't that up to par, but you got guys like Gil Melendez. His skill, his hand game is up to par for sure.
Last one, guys, last one. Alright, that's it. Get out there. Get out there.
This fight totally has the potential to be fight of the night, fight of the year.
Change the level a little bit.
I'm stepping in the octagon, I'm fighting a guy who's a beast, a guy who was gonna come forward, a guy who likes to sling him, a guy who's been dropped and has got back up, a guy who's been a champion, a guy who's fought 25 minutes.
Last minute, guy, last minute. Keep it tight, keep it tight down.
This forces me to get prepared. You know, this forces me to be ready.
Beautiful.
And when you put two bulls in the center of the octagon, you know, it's about to go down. So I anticipate this being, you know, a crazy one.
It's good. Good.
Recently, my family moved back to Philadelphia. So now I came back here to Florida on my own. I stay at a fighter house. I live with guys who are doing the same exact thing I'm doing. Everyone's like-minded, everybody wants to be champions, and we all stay here and eat, sleep, and fight. I'm gonna saute these sweet potatoes in coconut oil and burn them. Tastes good burnt. Although I'm ultra prepared for fights when I come down here on my own and I'm ready to go in, it's not just who I am. I'm more than just a fighter. I'm a father, I'm a husband, so it's tough for me on the weekends and times where I know I have downtime. Whenever I'm not training, I'm either resting or eating, but I just try to keep moving and not keep still while I'm here. And that's how it's done. How was your day anyway?
Good, I ran. How was yours?
Good, rested a little bit. I'm a little scraped up. I have something that looks like a hickey, but it's not. My family's everything to me. I have 4 children, I have a wife, and my family's most important to me. Fighting is just it's a way of me supporting my family. I might go back again at like 4:30 to get like an hour in before I get on the plane. I fly back to Philadelphia tonight, so I will see you.
I know. Little Jerry's gonna pick you up. What time are you coming in?
I get in
Send me all your info.
I'll send it to you. I'll see you tonight.
Yay.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I fight, I get a big check, and I do really cool with my family, and I think I rinse and repeat. I think it's a good life. I have nothing to complain about.
For Alvarez's opponent, Gilbert Melendez, fighting in Mexico is something he's been looking forward to for a long time.
Fighting in Mexico City is somewhat of a dream come true. You know, I never thought the UFC would be in Mexico City, and now here they are for their second show. This show's huge. You know, because Kane is the main event now, and now I'm on it. You know, I'm a co-main event, so you know, this is the motherland. That's where my blood is from. You know, I'm proud to be Mexican. I'm proud of my roots.
That's what Mexicans do. We hold our ground and we fight. I'd rather go down on my shield than run in circles.
You know, my dad was born in Mexico, and you know, he's the proudest Mexican I know. You know, he grew up in Tijuana, so I feel like I get an opportunity to make him proud. And you know, when I win, I'm going to dedicate the fight to him.
I honestly think this is the biggest matchup in the lightweight division.
Drop.
Regardless of who's champion, who's not champion.
Now we're both in the UFC. Now we're here full circle, and you know, our path's been waiting for years, and now it's happening. It's gonna be on my home turf out there in Mexico, and I'm gonna get the job done.
Work, Eddie, work.
I think the Mexicans will be disappointed in their Mexican because he's gonna try to make this fight the fight that they don't want to see by grappling and trying to stop me from fighting.
I fight, dude. I always come to fight. You know, you've seen any of my fights, you know, I'm always, you know, fight of the night. I've been fight of the year. When he starts saying stuff like this, it just leads me to believe that he's delusional. I don't think he's the brightest guy, and I actually think that's gonna make the difference in this fight, you know, and I think I'll enjoy punching him as well.
It's one of them things like curiosity killed the cat. He wanted to see how he'd do against me. He wanted to fight me. Maybe sometimes the best fight is the fight that you ran away from. This one, he should have ran away from.
Every fight out there is tough, but I ain't scared of nobody. I have too much guts, dude. I'm scared to quit, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna back down. And I'm not talking out of my ass, you know, like he is. I got my together, I know what's gonna happen, and you know, I'm chalking up a good game plan, and I'm gonna beat this guy.
At UFC 188, these two lightweights will get to settle the score several years after their feud began. And Cain Velasquez is finally ready to make his return to the octagon.
Going into this fight, you know, I don't feel like I need to make a statement, you know? I know what to do out there. Just have to go out there and do it.
He will take on Fabricio Verdum, and the two men will enter the octagon in Mexico City and compete for the right to be called undisputed.
Lo que tengo de, a lo mejor puede ser especial de corazón. No solo estoy para pelear, para ser otro más. Yo quiero ser uno más. Yo quiero ser el mejor del mundo. Voy a ganar a Cain Velasquez.